Hello friends, welcome to the channel. It's another video of the web development series where we get to apply our skills in web development. So in today's video, we are going to be building a news homepage. Now the news homepage was gotten from Front-End Mentor. Then I'll provide the link in the description section. So once you open the link, you need to create an account if you don't have one already, and then you can join us and have the resources for that project. Well, basically this is how the homepage is going to look like for both the desktop design and then the mobile design, which we'll be developing. Okay, let's take a brief look at the desktop design. Well, with the desktop design, we have the top section, which is our navigation section, and then the bottom section, which is where you have the main content. Now with the main content, we are going to use a grid layout, and then with the grid layout, we have basically three sections. You have the top left one you have here, the top right one here, and then a bottom one as well. So that's how the desktop design will be worked on. And just as always in all front-end mentor projects, you are provided with the resources that you need to be able to build a project. So in the readme guide or the style guide we have here, it tells us we have to build mobile and desktop versions. It also provides us with the colors that we are going to use, and then the font as well. Now with the font, you need to visit the site that you have here, select all the font weights for that font, and then the link is provided for you to include in your HTML. Within our HTML file, we include the boilerplate for the HTML together with the links for the CSS and the JavaScript. Alright, once we are done with the links, we can begin with the content in the body. Within the body tag, we have a container class which uses the div tag, and within the container, that's where we are going to have all our content. So in the navigation section, we have our image as we saw in the design. We are also going to have a section where the hamburger menu takes place. Now with the hamburger menu, it's going to be visible for the mobile version. So and at the bottom we have a div that contains the links for the home page. So for the links, we used a list for it, and then each link is placed inside an anchor tag. Once we are done with the nav section, we can move to the next section, which has a class of grid, and then within that section we have three main sections, all having the class of grid item. Now in the first section, we are going to provide the image that will be used and also the content. We can see that within the image class of the div, we have two images there, right, with different classes. Now that's to cater for both the mobile and the desktop versions. And then it will play a role when we get into the CSS. So we want to make sure that for each of the grid item sections, we provide them with an ID to make it easier to target them in the CSS. With the info section, we provide it with an h2 and also a p tag within different divs. Within the second section of the grid item class, we are going to have a heading of h2 and also a div tag. Now within the div tag, we have different articles which have been separated by horizontal tag. So within the separate divs, we have h3 headings there, and then a brief summary of the article using the p tag. Now within the third section, we are going to have three different divs, and each div is going to have its own image and then the information provided. We are done with the typing and we can take a look at the work that has been done so far. Alright, I guess we are done with the HTML section and then we can move on to the CSS section. So with the CSS section, we start with the reset and then we include our primary and neutral colors as well. Inside the body, we provide the font family and then also we provide the parameters for the paragraph. So inside the container, we are going to use flexbox with a flex direction of column. We'll also be using a maximum width of 100%, the minimum height of 100 VH. We'll provide some padding at the sides to make the content a bit centered. For the nav section styling, we'll also use some flexbox and then with a justify content of space between align items of center. We also give the image some width and then height as well. So for the desktop versions, we are not going to be using the hamburger menu, so we give it a display of none for now, and then in the mobile version we style it. For the list, we give it a flex box so that it's aligned in one line and also some gap. And then with the ULLI, we give it a style type of none. Within the LI tag, we have the A tag, and then with the A tag, we are going to remove the text decoration and provide it with a different color. For the hover effect too, we give it a color for that. Within the grid section, we are going to use a display of grid, and then we provide a grid template column of 3. They are going to use 1 FR each. So for the first grid item that we have, the one with ID of 1, we are going to let it span from the first column that you have to the third column. So we need to style the desktop image version of the ID one. And then for the mobile version, we provide it with a display of none for now. Within the info section or the info class, we are also going to use a bit of grid. But with this one, we are using template columns of 2 with 1 FR. Within the info class, we have an h2 tag. That h2 tag, we are going to provide it with a font size and then a line height. For the p tag in the info section, we want to change the color. We also provide it with a line height. We also do a similar thing for the anchor tag that we have. We provide it with a background color, some color. We remove the text decoration and provide it with a text transform of uppercase. We also provide some hover effects for it. We change the color in the background color. And this is how it currently looks. Now we move to the second grid item, which has an ID of 2, and that one is going to span 2 columns. So it's going to start from the third one up until the 4th column. We provide you with a background color, some color too, and then padding. For the header, we are going to provide you with a font size, a color, and then margin bottom. Now within this section we have three articles that you should see. So for each one of them we provide them with a cursor or pointer, and then the hover effects on their headings have a color of soft orange. We also style the paragraph. We give it a margin top and then a line height. After each article we have a horizontal line. So the horizontal line is going to take some margin and then a color too. We can now move to the third grade item, which is the one that has an ID of 3. With that one, it's going to span from the column 1 up until the 4th column. So it needs to move on to the next row, and that's automatic. Now within this third ID, we also want to provide a grade display. Then we provide some template columns of 3 with 1 FR. For each article that we have, we also provide a cursor, a border, some display of flex, and then a gap. And then we resize the images that we have there, so we provide it a height of 7 rem. For the headings of each article, we want to provide it with a color, and then the subheadings will also get their own font size and margin with a hover effect. So for the paragraph within the info class, we are going to provide with a color and a line height. And this is the end results for the desktop version. Now we can move on to the mobile version. With the mobile version, we decided to select the Samsung Galaxy S10 for the styling, and then we zoomed out as well. In order to style the mobile version, we need to use media queries. For the container class, we are going to change the padding, and then we style the hamburger menu we spoke about earlier. We give it a display of block instead of none that was found in the desktop version. We provide it with a position of relative and then a z index of 50, so that it goes above the other content that you have on the site. For the hamburger image, we provide it with a width and then a height. Then we also style the close button. For the close button, that one appears when you tap on the hamburger icon, so have a display of none initially. We want to use some form of keyframe to provide an animation as you click on the hamburger menu for the menu itself to appear. Concerning the styling of the list class, it should have a display of none by default. It means that when you load the site, the list doesn't show, but for styling purposes we have commented that out for now. We style it by giving it a position, some top, bottom, left and right values, and then you have your background color as well. Well, with the UL tag, we are going to provide it with a flex direction of column. The initial one was a flex direction of row. We provide it with some gap, a padding, background color, the margin left, and then some position with a height of 100%. Now we can comment the display none for the list class. Since it's a mobile version, the grid class, we are going to provide it with grid template column of 100%, and then we change the gap. For each of the grid items that we have for the ID 1, 2 and 3, we give each one of them a grid column of 1. And then for the first grid item image that we have, the desktop option, we provide it with a display of map, and then rather make the mobile option visible. For the info class, we give it a grid template column of 1 FR and then a gap of 1 rem. And then the header we have in the info class takes different font size and line height. Same with the paragraph tag. We also change the styling for the anchor tag that was found in the first grid item. Once we are done with the first ID, we can move to the third one. With the third one, we give it a template column of 100%. Then we change the gap. Now everything looks alright. And in order for the hamburger menu to work, we need to include the JavaScript aspect. For the JavaScript, we have a constant called the hamburger open, which is going to access the hamburger image that we have. The second constant, hamburger close, accesses the second image, which has a class of close button. We have a third constant called the menu. Then the menu is going to access the list that we have on the website. Now we provide a click event listener for the hamburger open constant. Now the function for the event listener is going to disable the hamburger icon using display none, and then it shows the hamburger close using the display block, with the menu also shown using display block. When the close icon is clicked on, we want to change the styling effects. I really appreciate it if you have been able to watch this far. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Like the video if it was beneficial. Drop your comments, let me know what you think about the video, and then share to others as well. See you in the next video.